Welcome students to our new YouTube channel Pharmaix Tech, the division of excellence. So let's start to the part 3 of anti-cancer drugs. So in the part 3 we see the immunosuppressants and immunomodulating agents. So let's start. So what is immunosuppressants? So these immunosuppressants are the drugs that which inhibits or which prevents the activity of the immune systems. They are known as immunosuppressants. And these immunosuppressants, they are used in the immunosuppressive therapy to prevent the rejection of the transplanted organs and tissues, like examples like bone marrow, heart, kidney and liver. And also to treat the autoimmune diseases or the diseases that are most likely to autoimmune origins. For example, rheumatoid arthritis, multiple sclerosis, myasthenia gravis and systemic lupus erythematosus and Crohn's disease and pemphigus and ulcerative colitis. These are autoimmune origin diseases. And also to treat some other non-autoimmune inflammatory diseases, for examples like a long-term allergic asthma and asthma control. The immunosuppressant agents are used for this in to prevent the rejection of transplanted organs and tissues, and also to treat the autoimmune diseases, and also to treat the non-autoimmune inflammatory diseases. So next we see some drugs of immunosuppressants. So the drugs, first one is T cell inhibitors. So the T cell inhibitors are calcineurin inhibitors. So T cell inhibitors are also known as calcineurin inhibitors, and examples of T cell inhibitors are cyclosporin, tacrolimus and sirolimus. And second one is cytotoxic drugs, and the examples of cytotoxic drugs are methotrexate, same cyclophosphamide, azathioprine, mycophenolate, mofetil. These are the cytotoxic drugs: methotrexate, cyclophosphamide, azathioprine, mycophenolate, mofetil. And also the third one is glucocorticoids, and the examples of glucocorticoids are prednisolone and others glucocorticoids. And some antibodies, the antibodies examples are daclizumab, basilizumab and mucromolumab, trastuzumab and etanercept. So these daclizumab, basilizumab and mucromolumab, trastuzumab and etanercept. So these drugs, antibodies are used in the immunosuppressant agents. So first we see the T cell inhibitors. First one is cyclosporin. So the cyclosporin is a cyclic polypeptide with it contains the 11 amino acids, and this cyclosporin, it is obtained from the fungus. And the mechanism of action of cyclosporin is the cyclosporin binds to the cyclophilin, and the cyclophilin inhibits the calcineurin, that means cystoplasmic phosphatase, and these cystoplasmic phosphatase decreases the activation of T cell transcription factors, and these T cell transcription factors again decreases the IL-2, IL-3 and interferon and TNF alpha, etc. And also the toxicities like cyclosporin toxicities like nephrotoxicity, hypertension, hyperglycemia and liver dysfunction, rise in blood pressure, and also anorexia, precipitation of diabetes and hirsutism. These and the use of cyclosporin it is used in the renal, liver, heart, bone marrow and other transplantations. So next, and also the cyclosporin it is used also in the rheumatoid arthritis, uveitis, inflammatory bowel diseases, etc. And the interactions like all nephrotoxic drugs like aminoglycosides, vancomycin, like amphotericin B, etc. And when they are administered concurrently with cyclosporin, they enhances the renal toxicity. So these drugs are avoided with the cyclosporin. So these drugs like aminoglycoside, vancomycin, amphotericin B, these are the interactions between the cyclosporine and these drugs causes the renal toxicity. And also the tacrolimus. So the tacrolimus is an immunosuppressant macrolide antibiotic produced, and this tacrolimus, it is macrolide antibiotic, and this tacrolimus, it is produced by the enzyme Streptomyces tuberculosis. So, and also this tacrolimus, it is not chemically related to the cyclosporine, but their mechanism of action are similar, and the cyclosporine binds to the cyclophilin, while this tacrolimus, it bind to the immunophilin FK binding protein, that means FKBP, and the both complexes, they inhibit the calcineurin. And the next one is sirolimus. So the sirolimus is a macrolide lactone which produces by the actinomycetes Streptomyces hygroscopicus, and the sirolimus, it is used to prevent the rejection reactions in the body. And although it has a different it is a structural analog of tacrolimus, and it acts somewhat differently, and it has a different side effects than that of tacrolimus. And this sirolimus, it is also known as rapamycin, and they are used as in rapamycin coated stents to prevent the smooth muscle proliferation. And also the adverse effects of sirolimus like thrombocytopenia, hepatotoxicity, diarrhea, hypertriglyceridemia, and headache. These are the adverse effects of sirolimus. So the next one is mycophenolate mofetil. So the mycophenolate mofetil is a semi-synthetic derivative of mycophenolic acid, and the mycophenolate mofetil, it is isolated from the mode of Penicillium glaucum. And next is mode of action of mycophenolate mofetil is the mycophenolate mofetil is hydrolyzed into mycophenolic acid, which inhibits the ionoso-monophosphate dehydrogenase, and this leads to inhibition of de novo, that means guanosine nucleotides purine synthesis. And the adverse effects of mycophenolate mofetil is like gastrointestinal disturbances, that means nausea and vomiting, diarrhea, and also abdominal pain, and myelosuppression in primarily neutropenia. So the next drug is azathioprine. So the azathioprine is a derivative of mercaptopurine, and it acts like the parent drug, and it functions as a structural analog of antimetabolites. And the azathioprine, it converts into mercaptopurine, and which inhibits the de novo purine synthesis, and it damages the DNA. So this azathioprine converts into mercaptopurine, and again they inhibits the de novo purine synthesis, and this azathioprine damages the DNA, that means deoxyribonucleic acid. And this azathioprine, it is used in the prevention of renal graft rejection, and adverse effects like bone marrow suppression and leukopenia. And also next is leflunomide. So the leflunomide is a prodrug of an inhibitor of pyrimidine synthesis, and this leflunomide, it is used in the rheumatoid arthritis. So in the GPAT there is a question, which drug it is used in the rheumatoid arthritis, and the right answer is leflunomide, which is a prodrug and of an inhibitor of pyrimidine synthesis. So next is toxicity of azathioprine. Toxicity is like elevation of liver enzymes with some risk of liver damages, renal impairment, and teratogenic effects. These are the adverse effects, that means toxicities of azathioprine. So next we see some monoclonal antibodies and their actions, uses and their actions. So the first monoclonal antibody likes the drug like abscizumab, and the action of abscizumab is antiplatelets, and again it antagonist of 2B and 3A receptors. Next one is daclizumab and basilizumab, and the action of this daclizumab is kidney transplants, and it blocks the IL-2 receptors. And third one is infliximab. So action of infliximab is in rheumatoid arthritis and in Crohn's disease, and it binds the TNF alpha receptors. and next one is muromonab. So that means OKT3, CD3 and muromonab, it acts as an allograft rejections blocking renal transplants against the CD3. Next one is palivizumab. So the palivizumab is a respiratory syncytial virus and it blocks the respiratory syncytial virus protein. Next one is rituximab. So this rituximab is a non-Hodgkin's lymphoma and it binds to the surface protein. Next one is trastuzumab. Trastuzumab is a breast cancer and it acts as an agonist to HER2 INU receptor. And next one is imatinib. So the imatinib is a chronic myelogenous leukemia. Then next one is etanercept. So this etanercept is a rheumatoid arthritis, polyarticular course, juvenile rheumatoid arthritis and psoriatic arthritis, and it binds to the TNF alpha and TNF beta receptors. And next one is adalimumab. So this adalimumab is used in rheumatoid arthritis and it binds to the TNF alpha. Next one is alifacept. So this alifacept is a plaque used in plaque psoriasis and it inhibits the activation of T cells by CD2. And last one is alemtuzumab. So this alemtuzumab, it is used in a chronic lymphocytic leukemia and it binds to the CD5. Next is triple drug therapy. So in the triple drug therapy, the name suggests that the three drugs are used in this drug therapy. The drugs are cyclosporine plus azathioprine plus prednisolone. They are used for the immunosuppressions. And also the anti-D immunoglobulin. So this anti-D immunoglobulin is a human IgG antibodies to red cell RHD antigens. And this anti-D immunoglobulin, it is used in the administered to Rh negative mother within 72 hours of Rh positive delivery to prevent the hemolytic diseases of the newborn baby in subsequent pregnancy, and it should also be used in the miscarriages for some reasons. And next one we see some immunomodulating agents. So what are immunomodulating agents? So the immunomodulating agents, these are the agents which modulate the immune response rather than the suppresses, and they are their major potential uses are in immunodeficiencies disorders and also in chronic infectious diseases and in cancers. And examples like BCG vaccine and levamisole. So next we see some immunomodulating agents type cytokinase and their action. So the first cytokine is IFN alpha. So the action of IFN alpha it is used in the treatment of several neoplasmas including hairy cell leukemia, chronic myelogenous leukemia, malignant melanoma and Kaposis sarcoma and hepatitis B and C. Next one is the IFN beta. So the action of IFN beta, it is a relapsing type multiple sclerosis. IFN gamma. So IFN gamma is a chronic granulomatous disease. It is used in the chronic granulomatous diseases. And last one is IL-2 cytokinin. They are used in the metastatic renal cell carcinoma and in malignant melanoma. And also the BCG is a viable strain of Mycobacterium bovis that has been used for immunization against the tuberculosis. So in the GPAT, there is a question that BCG is a viable strain of which bacteria, and the right answer is Mycobacterium bovis. And also the levamisole. So this levamisole increases the magnitude of delayed hypersensitivity of T cell. The T cells mediated immunity in humans, and in human immunodeficiency it is associated with Hodgkin's disease. And the levamisole, it has been noted to increase the number of T cells in vitro and to enhance the skin test reactivity. So these are all about immunosuppressants and immunomodulating agents. So we continue in the part 4. In the part 4 we see the whole classification of anti-cancer drugs and some important points. So stay connected with Pharma Extract. Thank you for watching this video, and please share your video to your friends which are studying the GPAT and the NIPER Drug Inspector Pharmacist exam. So thank you for watching this video. Thank you.